wonderful Cheryl. She's going to tell you all about her business and what she does and how you can help her and support her. So over to you.
Hello. Hi everybody. Ding dong, Avon's calling. Surprise! That's me with this little book. So this little book is so much more than what you see. And I think a lot of people do sort of prejudge it, thinking it's just a little pocket money thing. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. Excuse my notes, but I can't think straight anyway. So, so that's me, Cheryl Dutton. I'm a newly qualified Avon executive leader, and I'm on an exciting mission to help and empower women to earn extra money to give them more choices in life. So my story is, I arrived from Hong Kong about 28 years ago, and I think I posted it recently about that, with my family. We had a house which we could live in a month or two. It was being rented out. We had no money, no jobs, completely started from scratch. So our two girls were, I think, 6 and 11, so they had to go into schools. So I won't bore you with all the details of what's happened between then and now, all different jobs and things like that. So what led me to start Avon, and what I've achieved in less than 5 years was pretty mind-blowing, really, and I'm just getting started. So, but the reason I got started is I saw the potential of the business long term. My sponsor and an old colleague called John persuaded me to give it a try. I really didn't want to. I was completely burnt out from previous work, business, life, everything that goes on. And I really was feeling burnt out, but I remember him calling me. I was sitting in the garden in between work we had to do, and I thought, he persuaded me to get started. He said, right, you're going to do it, Cheryl, now's the time to do it. Come on, crack on. He really kind of kicked me, and I think it's only because he knew me for previous years that he felt he could talk to me like that. Most people, you wouldn't talk to anyone you don't know, you wouldn't talk to them like that, because no one's going to listen to you, are they? So basically I trialled these brochures with some previous customers, and there was a huge uptake in orders from what we'd previously done, and we had done very well in the past with our customers, looking after our customers. So it proved the results were there, and actually I'm not very good at doing Excel spreadsheets and things like that. I just literally wrote out on a piece of paper what all the results were from different things, and then John used it himself, the information, to sponsor people himself from my results. So the first 6 months there were lots of cash bonuses that we could achieve. So I worked quite fast. Once I got started, I started to get a little bit more enthused because I could see the results, and so it helped me feel, a little bit more confident and positive. So we got lots of cash bonuses to get started. Within 18 months, we'd achieved a trip to Mauritius from Avon. It was actually cancelled because of COVID. So what they did is they gave us the money to use as we wished, and I booked a Disney cruise to take my grandchildren on. It was actually because it was still kind of like coming out of COVID, so they were just doing where you didn't stop anywhere, they just went round the sea basically, off the UK, and we had a lovely time, really nice. Obviously then before that, COVID had hit, and it was actually the best thing that ever could happen to me. It made me work on Avon properly. I had to stop doing what we were doing, and also I was waiting for a hip replacement, so I couldn't really get in the car and do all these other things we were doing. So we were at home, so it made me work on the business. So I tackled it head on. We doubled our business, and from that we achieved a trip to Toronto, Canada for myself, and then I actually built 2 businesses. I built my own business, and I built Peter's business, because that's how we were recommended to do it to achieve the most money. So I actually achieved a trip for both of us to go to Toronto with Avon. So yeah, I was pretty proud of that we actually both managed to go. So the end of COVID, we bought a motorhome, and we took most of last year off. We travelled to all 4 corners of the UK with our ex-racing greyhound Ronnie. Ronnie. You think I'll take a sip of water? So obviously, as you know, I'm quite passionate about greyhounds. I never would have been before, It was only because I met somebody who was, championing the cause of greyhounds, because they're such a misunderstood breed. And then once I started, checking about them, and having one ourselves, and you realise, what lovely animals they are, and they make such great pets. So obviously I try and go and raise money for them, and go and volunteer as well, when I can. So he loves coming in the motorhome. He absolutely adores it. He loves coming in the car with us. As soon as he thinks we're going, he wants to jump in. So we've been to, like I said, all four corners of the UK. We went up to Scotland twice actually in the motorhome. No, we haven't done the NC 500, but we've been to Scotland. Our daughter got married up there last year, and so it was nice to be able to take extra time and go and stay in the motorhome afterwards to de-stress afterwards. We've been to Cornwall, Devon, Norfolk, Wales, as well as other booked holidays that were left over from COVID bookings. You know what it was like in COVID, nobody could go anywhere. So we started booking things that we could do afterwards. So money was coming in each month from work we'd done in the previous 2 years or so to enable to take that time off. So it's mostly positives, but there are negatives too. Last year I had a few health challenges, and I decided to work with a nutritional therapist. I did think about you when I was saying about that. So I took the time and the money to work on myself and get my body healthier. So that gave me more energy. I felt great and was raring to go by the end of the year. So I started to get out and about a bit more. So I've been going to shopping centres, job fairs, job centres and other events to meet people in person rather than recruiting on the phone, which is how I've built the business in the past. It is really nice to be able to meet people, because I like sort of one-to-one chatting to people rather than talking to a stranger on the phone. So it's been a huge part of my success this year. As I said, I like to chat to people, help them get started in their business and help them achieve extra income. So, and 2023 has been a huge self-development year for me. I've invested very heavily during this year, and I started by coming to this networking event. I know I don't mean that in terms of money-wise, but in perhaps personally, and a chance to meet people. So this is the very first one I came to, and I'd been many years ago. I'd been to one before, and it totally put me off, and I never went to another one for years, all these years, like 20 years I think. It just totally put me off, but this one was so friendly and welcoming, and I was so nervous, if you remember from my first one in January when I came. So I really pushed myself because I don't find it easy. And I invested into learning with an expert in social media as well, a guy called Fraser Brooks. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but he's very good on social media, and he's actually doing a free event this weekend. If you wanted to log on to it, if you let me know, then you can go onto it quickly. So it's like Friday, Saturday, and there's a VIP one on Sunday as well. I've had a lot of help from Reaching Eden, and Louise especially as a business coach, which I didn't think I needed. And it was through an event that you put on here that then led me to having some time with Louise, and he really helped me to be a little bit more structured. I think I probably need a lot more coaching. I think it's you don't really realise, but everyone needs a coach really. So even the top people, top athletes, top people in the world, they all have coaches, just that we don't always know about it. I attended a Tony Robbins Unleash the Power event. If you've ever heard of Tony Robbins, he's absolutely amazing. And I've always wanted to go to one for years. And because it was in Birmingham, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to go. And I persuaded somebody else to share a ticket with me as well. And I did a fire walk. So that was a major achievement. I never thought I'd do it. I was literally right up to the last minute before I said, right, okay. It's because I went along with everybody else. If it was just me, I wouldn't have done it. And my husband didn't want me to do it either. He really didn't want me to do it because he thought I was going to get hurt. But it's an amazing feeling, because I don't even remember touching the coals, because you're so psyched up that you just don't know. I went to Dubai on my own to attend an event, and that's the first time I've been anywhere on my own that I can remember since getting married. We travelled to Nice in France in our motorhome, so we made a holiday of it in August, which is the wrong time to go. We parked at a campsite, And I went on my own to an event, again with Fraser Brooks. It was a private mastermind event at his villa that he'd rented for the summer. And I had to hire a car, and because I couldn't know how else to get there. I hadn't realised I was going to have to do that till a couple of days before really what I was going to do. I hired a car, and so I had to drive on the right for the first time in a day. So it was all a little bit weird. It was all very stressful. I started having some panic attacks.
Would have been disintegrated.
I was literally, I thought I could do anything really. And I've always sort of told myself, yeah, you could do anything you want. But then I realised I was starting to have some little panic attacks. So anyway, I managed to get that all calmed down, but I had a great time. So since then, I've also qualified for an exclusive VIP trip down the Thames with Avon, and treated, wined and dined and treated on, exclusive boat. I recently, this is all last month, jumped on a plane to New York with 3 days notice, and with a friend who said, do you want to come with me? Not many people can just say, right, okay, just leave everything and go. So if you worked in a normal job, there's no way you could do that. And I'm just about to jump on a plane next week to go to Dubai again. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just qualified last month at a very high level with like the top 30 leaders in Avon, as far as I know it is, as an executive leader amongst thousands of reps. I don't know how many thousands there are in Avon, but there's a lot. So I've had a lot of achievements this year. It's been a bit of a whirlwind really. I feel like I'm nowhere near finished, as we know. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me. So to sum up, obviously I'd love any of you to become a customer, online or via the brochure. Or if you think of anyone appropriate who this opportunity might fit, and we'd love to have a chat or put them in touch with me, I'd appreciate that very much. It could be something simple just to top up the money, or it could be something, to take them to bigger things, who knows. And I really thank those who believed in me, especially Louise, who really believed in me and pushed me to do better. And thank you to Anne and Mandy for inviting me to speak today. So I've got Christmas Advent calendars on display, as you can see. And obviously, anyone who wants to order anything, I can either deliver if it's local, or we can arrange delivery. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.